So today I was driving my car, and the usual road that I want to take was blocked. It had a detour. And I mean, I knew that's going to happen eventually because the usual road is under construction. The reason why it's under construction is because the road is too small. They're making it bigger. They're making the road easier to access and easier to get to multiple places without being stuck in traffic. So everything is under renovation so that in the future the flow will be easier, traffic will be reduced, and everyone can just basically flow. It's gonna have an overpass. It's just gonna be easier for the long run. However, at this point, it slows down everybody, every car, because it has a detour. And as I drove, it just came to me to look at it from a different angle. And I was in the car looking at the path ahead. It was blocked. I wanted to go straight. That's where I would normally go, but there was a blockage. And this path, the straight path where I would normally want to go to, was under construction. So the detour would lead me around with all the other cars and eventually catch up with the regular path on the other side. But it had to go this other detour path, much smaller road, bumpy road as well, because it's not a regular road. And because all the cars had to go that way, it just took much longer than it normally would take if we would just go further down. And it causes this traffic jam. And as I was driving, instead of getting upset about it or feeling, frustrated with how long it's taken, thinking how much longer is this going to take until the street is finally open and available, it came to me and I thought, isn't this just like life sometimes? When we work on something, whether we work on ourselves or something in our life, to make an improvement, when we want to work on anything to make it better, to create a better life for ourselves, doesn't it sometimes feel just like that? It feels like we are either stuck or things get worse even. We want to make it better, and it feels like this gigantic detour. It flows even less than it did before. Here I'm trying to make a better life, but I feel it's getting worse. It feels like that detour. And in reality, when we see it on the street, I can see what's happening, I can understand it. But often in life, our detours, we forget what it's all about and we lose sight. It may look to us as if there's only this detour, and we lose sight of why there is a detour. When we want to change something for the better, sometimes we need to stop radically where we are at. Stop that. We are working here, perhaps subconsciously on something, on our subconscious mind, or whatever it is. And until this works and runs smoothly, we may need to take a detour. And for the long run, it feels more complicated. It feels like everything slows down and we feel like giving up. Why don't we just go back to the regular path? We could take away those barriers and go back the same way. And yes, we would have the straight path again, however, still maybe not to our liking. But if we maybe learn to just be patient with this under construction path and follow the detour and keep working and let this be, let's settle with, this needs to be under construction for now. I accept it. I'm working on it. In the meantime, it's gonna take longer. It's gonna take some time. For the long run, this will be the faster path, because once this has been built, once this is stable, the barrier will be lifted, and then we can go in a straight line faster with results, the results that we want. But I think sometimes when we go for a result, we only think of this fastest, straightest way, forgetting that to do that we need to stop, work on stuff, and during that time it may feel more difficult than it did before we started the project in the first place. It looks messy, it's dusty work, it feels uncomfortable, it takes a long time. But again, we have a choice. Do we want that? Do we want to work on it? Because we have a long-term goal, a vision ahead of us? Or do we want to be just doing our regular life every day, smooth, but perhaps not to our liking? So I know for myself, I want to work on myself. I want to keep working on that. And even though I may not like it right now, the way things are, I'm taking that detour. And in the meantime, as I take the detour, I'm also working on my construction site, and I keep working on that construction site until I'm happy with it. And when I'm happy with it, I can lift the barriers and I can live the life I've built for myself. So if you're with me, follow this journey and be patient with yourself, be patient with the process, and remember, just because things seem more difficult or not going your way, that doesn't mean that there's not something in the process already happening for you, not against you, but for you. I just wanted to share this with you today, and I hope this has helped you and you can relate. Bye bye, till next time.